such a major disaster which happened in a live refinery. What is that refinery? It's a 9 million ton capacity refinery. It started as a grassroots. It's well, I will not quote the name, but of course, as I went through, you will get to know about it. This particular refinery is located, well, within the Karnataka itself. So for storing them when the tank was done, several tanks constructed. One of the tanks showed distress and buckled during hydro testing. You see, hydro testing is going to be done as a part of any hydrocarbon project that we are going to talk about, where we normally talk about 1.2 times the capacity. So if it is 1 kg, we are talking about 1.2. So here, it is 20 meter. I'm trying to store the water and check the leakages over there. By the time it reaches the 1/3 of the height, the vertical crack buckles and whole thing starts crashing down. The site is located inside a refinery. There is a coordinate for that. Everything is going to be in terms of locations, like you have a GPS global position system. At that time, it used to be north and easting. You give the coordinate, you are going to reach that place. That's how it is going to be. The elevation you see, interestingly, it's about 6 meters above the mean sea level. Means this refinery must be in the coastal area. Most of the refinery you see in the coastal area, there are reasons behind it. Okay. Now, what exactly happened? So this is an aerial photograph of the entire refinery. You are going to talk about it, 9 ton, which has been now upgraded to 12 ton. And in this particular refinery, a live refinery, this particular disaster has taken place. Honestly speaking, if the hydro test would have been not done, directly if they had gone for storing of any of the fuel, the refinery, the bottom plate would have been caught up with the fire. What exactly happened in a Vizag refinery? Well, from there we move on to the next part of it. Data collected. I have only 3 information. I will share it with you because it's a lengthy procedure which I will not. 48.5 meter diameter, 20 meter HMS floating roof tank has been constructed, which is resting on a foundation constructed using stone column technique. It's one of the well-established technique. Even today, in oil and gas, you talk about a stone column technique. It's basically whether it is a sandy or a clay soil, irrespective. This is one of the technique followed by a ring beam on the top of it. As per the information furnished by the client, geotechnical investigation was carried out prior to the design, indicate the presence of weathered rock or a hard rock at a depth of 8 meters below MSL. So means from the FGL, if you are going to talk about it, it's about 8 meters. You can link up the entire thing. So the point to note is, the moment you talk about an FGL means there was something else, the original ground level. So you are calling about a finished grade level. Accordingly, the foundation has been extended up to a depth of 8 meters below FGL. Means the constructing agency has followed the geotechnical investigation parameter, ascertained at what depth they are having the weathered rock, ensured the foundation goes up to that. If that is the case, why the distress took place? That's the question we are going to see. Well, what was the challenge? Prior to the storage of any hydrocarbon material, it's a mandatory to test the storage tanks by hydrotest to its full capacity. Hence, upon completion of construction of the tank, when hydrotest was carried out, distress was noticed. Why this particular thing distress happened? So they wanted to make a diagnosis or the assessment. Now, when they looked into it, this is the location what you see. Interestingly, this is the topo map, or you call it as actual survey map. You see all the levels 3.6, 3.79 something. The tank location has been marked over there. It is meant for diesel. The worst thing could have happened was this area where they have put the diesel, this area is meant for LPG storage. We have an LPG storage completely loaded. A small distress here, if the diesel has come out and one single spark, all these 3 LPG spheres would have been one bomb blast. Well, now what is going to happen on that day? Well, so that's the area. It is going to, the moment if somebody sees from an engineering perspective, it is going to a lot of information about that particular location, which the engineers at the time of the design and investigation and the construction forgot about it. What is it? You will get to know. Well, that's the actual map that you are seeing across over there. You see the number of tanks, what is there? This was, I was talking about the LPG sphere that is available. And this was a tank which buckled and collapsed, what you are seeing across over. This is the actual photograph, which I can bring it back to 1998. I'm talking about it. Please understand this particular data. You are not supposed to disclose this, but with great respect to Professor Ramesh, I thought this is one very important, we should bring it up. Well, move on from there. Investigation. So it is something like, when you are not well, you go to a doctor, so a pathologist, he is going to order BP, sugar, you take X-ray, everything. So what now these people did was, let's carry out all kinds of investigation. You carry out borehole test, you are going to carry out SCPT, you are going to carry out vein, do anything under the earth. Quite a good number of pathology, like, it was written, you please carry out all this. So the investigation agency, IISc investigation agency, I was paid handsomely for this. I knew what we are going to do it across, but I was paid handsomely for it. Whether it is required or not, that's immaterial. Like if somebody's life is at a threat, you carry out all investigation. You take a second opinion, you go for a third opinion. This is what exactly happened over there. Well, from there, you conduct all the laboratory tests also. This is like more like academic, so I'm not going to get into the part of it. Let me get into the diagnosis part of it. What happened during investigation is very, very important. You see, if your eyes and ears are open, what exactly happens during the site investigation? If you're going to be a little vigilant, couple of things it comes to your mind. During the investigation, certain borehole data revealed the presence of peat and organic material along with clay. So the moment any geotechnical investigation engineer is at site, you come across an organic formation or a peat or a clay formation is coming across, something, the antenna starts going out. Yeah, there must be something below. What it is something below? If a decaying material is coming, invariably you come across either it should be geologically formed a valley or a river or a stream must be flowing. Otherwise, it cannot happen invariably. Second, the presence of organic clay in the borehole led us to investigate for any stream in the surrounding area. Is it there? But everything is filled up. Nobody knows. So 3.5 meters they have filled up already. 2.5, 3 meters they have filled up, compacted nicely. So nothing you can able to make out. So you need to get back to the diagnosis means you should get back to the earlier survey or the topo sheets to check with respect to the coordinate what's happening. The probe was further carried out using the original topo sheet because that area comes under the restriction. Quarter-inch scale topo sheets were not available. With great difficulty, we could able to get an assessment and find out what exactly happened. Original ground level of the tank bed area was plus 3.5 meter, whereas we are talking FGL of 6. So 2.5 meter filling up is there, number one. Area has been graded and filled up to 6. Stream was noticed along the northwest, west, and southwest boundary of the tank, having a depth varying from 0.6 to 1, some places with up to 2 meters depth. Now, just imagine in the mind, there is a flat land. Imagine there was a river that was flowing. Somebody fills up the entire thing, puts all the side, a beautiful road to you. What do you make out? You don't make out there is a river, there is a stream. But if the planner and the designer had referred to the original topo sheet or even the survey drawing of the refinery, when originally it was done, 100% they would have seen that, which I showed you in the beginning. Right, next, what happened after this? The presence of organic material in the stream gave the basic information that there must be a differential settlement on account of which the distress might have taken place. The subsoil profile was plotted to all the 8 boreholes, clearly revealed the following. Now the question can come across, in a circle, you got 4 quadrants, you are going to talk about it. So the agency wanted, or the client wanted, 8 locations you do it. So the question can also come, earlier how many boreholes was done? Why this particular thing was not investigated? All this is going to come. So weathered rock and hard rock is available at 8 meters toward the eastern portion of the tank only. That's the point to be noted. Eastern tank means in 8 boreholes, whichever the borehole was toward the eastern side, we also got at 8 meters the weathered rock. No doubt about it. Large clay pocket extends up to a great depth of 8 to 9 meters, beyond which the weathered hard rock is available toward the western and southwest portion. Means, forget about it. 8 meter, 10 meter, 12 meter, 14 meter, 16 meter on to the western side, northwest and southwest, you don't have a weathered rock. It's a clay pocket. So if that is the case, What did the earlier designer did it? That's the point. The comparison revealed the earlier only borehole, 2 boreholes were drilled on the eastern peripheral. You see, this is called shortcutting. Penny count and a pound foolish. When you go against the norms, teachers tells, my dear friend, before you enter the examination hall, please be cool. Read the question paper. Answer to the questions which you are comfortable. The one you are not comfortable, go toward the end. So to that you will gain. And you make an ulta and you make a pulta out of it in the exam. You will never get through. So this is what is going to happen. So the guideline says very clear. For the rest of the portion of the tank peripheral, no boreholes were drilled and data was extrapolated. So you cut short, you carry out 2 boreholes, and you extrapolate. Oh, I got the rock here. And somebody will come and say, sir, adjoining I have done few tanks, sir. I also got rock. Oh, is it? Okay, katam. You close the entire thing. But in a refinery, you are going to talk about 12,000, 15,000 crores investment and the life threat. And you forget about carrying out a proper investigation. Look at what disaster has happened. The assumption that the weathered and hard rock would be encountered at the same level affected the stability and safety of the tank, an account of which the failure has occurred. The detailed investigation carried out now provided adequate data and information for the design. Shocking thing that happened over there. Next, beyond that, what is it going to look like? Findings. It is clear from the above that one-time proper investigation and analysis of data will save major disaster. You can quote this example, not one. I have recently fought an international arbitration in Singapore for a company which has been operating in 141 countries. They have been wiped out in 70 countries because of similar kind of problem in India. They have been wiped out virtually. They have been asked to close down because this is what happening across over there when you talk about it. We all talk about success stories, but when you talk about really the balance portion, we will realize where exactly these things are hitting. The proper geotechnical investigation is of paramount importance in any civil engineering project before undertaking the detailed engineering design and implementation. A standard slogan, but this is very interesting one. You see now this profile. That was a nala. You had an entire saw and the weather rock was over here. So when the tank was placed, if you imagine the cut across over there, thinking that particular weather rock which has been hit on the eastern side here, this guy. So when the tank was placed across over there, the 50% of the tank was standing here. And the remaining 50 was beautifully standing here. Where exactly did this take place? Exactly over here. The whole thing buckled and collapsed. Now, I will show you one photograph, one drawing of that to present it, because as engineering we understand. You see, this is where exactly the 8 boreholes which were asked us to drill. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The eastern side there was a hill actually, so the rock was valuable. The western side nothing. So the geotechnical investigation was carried out with one here and another here. Even if they had carried out, thank you so much. So even if they had carried out one here and here, and I open up, one here and one here, probably could have thrown. But what made them to carry out one here and one close to that, and say that rock is available throughout the scene too. Like, for the parents, if you have 5 children, if someone can write, or an astrologer, and even say all the 5 children will have the same fate? Impossible. And engineering works on the principle. There is no extrapolation. There is no assumption in engineering. If you do, you pay disaster. Well, that's the exactly is happening, and this is what exactly. In fact, this particular tributary joins to another stream called Kudumburhole. That Kudumburhole goes and joins to the Gurupur River. That Gurupur River goes and joins to the Netravati, and both together joins to Arabian Sea. You see how the network God has done. And you go against to the God, and you get into the disaster. Classic example. Well, now, the last 30 seconds. Takeaway for you, all of you from here. What is the takeaway? We feel, rather I feel, engineering professions should be vigilant during planning, data collection, investigation, also during the operation maintenance of the project. Failing which, what happens? You will call for the disaster. What do you think? It's up to you now to think. Thank you so much for this, sir. I hope I finished in time. Thank you.
Raghuveer. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my privilege to introduce Professor Ramesh, a person who doesn't really need any introduction. But formal introduction I'll give about him. He did his BE from BDT College of Engineering, Davanagere, and joined for PhD at IISc Bangalore. Later, he served as a lecturer in STJ Institute of Technology, Ranibennur, and also had short stints at SECON and Tata Consulting Engineers, and later joined UVCE Bangalore as a reader in 1996. After serving UVCE Bangalore at various capacities, he retired this year, 2024. That is why we have assembled here in this session to felicitate him on his superannuation. And at Bangalore University, he has served in different capacities, including as the chair of Department of Civil Engineering, Dean of Engineering of Bangalore University, Principal of UVCE College of Engineering, and also as the acting Vice Chancellor of Bangalore University. He has so far published more than 125 papers in various journals and conferences, and he also served as the chairman of IGS Bengaluru Chapter. Apart from this formal introduction, many of you know Professor Ramesh as a very active member of Indian Geotechnical Society from long time, and he served in the National Executive Committee for several years. He's continuing to serve. This year also he is elected as the EC member. And apart from that, he has an excellent networking capacity, I would tell. He could collect several hundreds of numbers to create WhatsApp group for IGS, which was the first, before even IGS started these WhatsApp groups. Professor Ramesh was instrumental in creating 2 WhatsApp groups. One is for IGS life members, one for Geotechnical Engineers of India. So he did excellent job there to connect various professionals. These groups are very useful in communicating about different events that are happening across the country, across the world, and also to make professional relations, collaborations. Thank you, Ramesh, for doing this. With this introduction, I request Professor Ramesh to go ahead and give his lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Madhavilata. Ellarigu namaskara. My dear teachers present here, IGS President, Secretary, my dear former PhD students, MTech students, invitees, my friends, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, after my PhD, I was exposed to the geotechnical engineering in several projects. I joined SECON. It is basically a service company, and they invited me as a consultant. And the first assignment was given to me was the power plant project, which is having 30 boreholes of 30 meters depth, 22 plate load tests, 9 CPLTs, and 20 SCPTs. Remember, they didn't have any facilities, and Rangnath was my colleague as an engineer. Major Apachu told Ramesh, Dr. Ramesh, you just go ahead. I'll give the money. Money is not a problem. Then I go around, and Mr. M.S. Sudarshan and Dr. Venkatesh came to my rescue, and we organized the boreholes. And SCPT, Varghese Chumar from Chennai, I remember, it is 10-ton capacity. Now it is outdated, now it is 20-ton. It's a power plant at Jhansi. And actually, we didn't have the reservation. We traveled in the, near the toilet. We got by the, TC, and then we paid fine. So it was an urgency. And we successfully completed that. And after that, we took one more major project, that is the Agni missile project at Balesur. I stayed in Damra for about 2 months. We used to travel in the boat, 11 kilometers. Lot of crocodiles were there. It's an island. So it's an Agni missile project. And Professor Sridharan was our senior consultant. And every 15 days, we had to give the report in the transparency in front of the military people. And it gave us a lot of confidence. And after that, in a year, 94 to 95 June, we have completed around, these are the two major projects, and around 30 projects. And I am ever grateful to Major Appachu and Sri Ranganath, who have supported me like anything. Whatever I do, it may be financial or organizing. I was so dynamic, and Rangnath used to come with me. Even he accompanied me to Balesur, so many projects. But never used to say, but I stayed there for 2 months. Sridharan used to come there once in 15 days for the inspection and the meeting. So after that, I was offered a job in Tata Consulting Engineers in a senior geotechnical engineering position. There, I was asked to do, the machine foundation design, which I have never studied in my lifetime. But the chief engineer, I still remember, Mr. Nagaraj, he was so kind. He was telling you, just go through the basics. Other guidelines are there. So I struggled hard, and I was successful also. And once I was doing very well, I was offered a reader post in UVCE. I was forced to go because it's a government job. It's an associate professor job. There, in the UVCE, I wanted to do some consultancy works. But due to some reasons, I was not able to do maybe some ethical reasons. I will reserve my comments. And I was given some subjects, and also I was asked to do some research. I have taken the research students, and I have got the exposure of many research students, and also the many research projects. And also I have taken the AICT projects, the fly ash project, and I'm going to discuss very briefly because the organizers have given me only 15 minutes time. So I will just go through very fast. So therefore, this particular topic I have selected based on my previous experience. So the field experience, first 2 years of my PhD, it was really fantastic and memorable. And after that, the research and also the interaction with the students make me very young, especially the undergraduate students and the MTech students. And therefore, I have selected this topic, combining the impact of experimental studies and case histories in geotechnical engineering for the safe and economic design of foundations. So here I am going to stress upon the experimental studies, which is very much required for different types of soils, wherein we get different types of soils. You may have to go for chemical treatment. Sometimes you may have to go for stabilization techniques. Sometimes you may have to go for the deep excavations. And sometimes you may have to go for the machine foundations. So all those things we have studied, and then I have guided the project, and I have guided one PhD on the soil dynamics. We have fabricated the um, um, block vibration test machine, and we have done a lot of consultancy on that, and it was successful, and it is first of its kind in India. But of course we have not filed a patent, and 10 MTech students have worked on that. So I'm just going to share with you very quickly about that. Then this is only the overview I'm telling you. And first I'm going to discuss about the research and then the field studies. And coming to the research, see, this is only the outlook I'm telling you. For the design of any foundation, the experimental research is utmost essential to assess the improvements in soil behavior. The first point is the fly ash. I have done extensive research on the fly ash with the IISc project. The fly ash, which is a waste material produced by power plants in India, it's about 125 million tons of fly ash is being produced every year, which may cause environmental hazards and disposal problems, which can be utilized effectively in geotechnical applications by carrying out research for optimum utilization. Many of my students have done research on that, and then they have concluded. Then second one, the stabilization of soil can be carried out for various types of soils having different mineralogical contents like kaolite and mantmalonite, etc. Then the optimum percentage of various additives of soil stabilization can be determined from the experimental studies only. It cannot be predicted. The alternate methods of stabilization of soil can be carried out by experimental research only. And lastly, the design of machine foundations. For the design of machine foundations, the natural frequency of the soil foundation system is very, very important, because for the resonance condition, the operating frequency and the ratio of the operating frequency and the natural frequency should not be between 0.5 to 1.5, otherwise the displacement of the foundation takes place. Therefore, the black vibration test is very, very important, and I have guided on PhD also on that. So to understand the natural frequency of the soil foundation system, how to determine, can be determined by conducting field methods, maybe by block vibration test. So I will just tell only the headings. So the different types of fly ashes we have collected, pozzolanic and non-pozzolanic fly ashes. So the lignoid corporation fly ash, it is having more lime content, and if you add water, it will be like a cement, with a curing period. It is called as the pozzolanic fly ash. And non-pozzolanic fly ash, the Raichur power plant, it was not having much lime content. So these are the waste products, we want to utilize them and find out the optimum content, and recommend them for the highway construction, which is the large geotechnical applications. So one of my students has done on the Raichur fly ash, and with the addition of some chemicals. And also we have studied the role of molding water content by taking the density on the dry side of the optimum and the outside of optimum. We have recommended dosages for the pozzolanic and non-pozzolanic fly ash. This is actually the IISc project. And also we have also attempted to study the waste product, the bagasse ash, which is the waste product from the sugar plant, which is abundantly available. We have done experiment on the expansive and non-expansive soils and done the comparative study. And rice husk ash, also the waste product. We have done the experimental works. For all these things, the experimental works, there is very much required. So that is my point here. And then the strength and compressibility of the mine tiling. We have collected the mine tiling, which is also a waste product from the Kolar Gold mine field, and we have done some research and then recommended utilization of that, the optimum dosages. And the alternate method also, the utilization of granite, stone, slurry dust. So it's also a waste one, and then using that also we have carried out the research. And one more thing is the Manoj Krishna has done on the coir fiber, utilization of coir fiber. So in all these researches, only experimental studies have been done, and the recommendations are given. And One more, my PhD student, he's an entrepreneur, Sri Jaiprakash. So he has done a lot of work on the deep excavations. So deep excavations, whenever the excavation go beyond 4.5 meters, so one should be very careful. And there are a lot of measures to be taken. And we have taken that problem, and then he has worked on the effect of passive ground anchors for the retention of deep excavations. And Pratap Kumar, of course, he's the only PhD student who has done PhD on the dynamics using the black vibration test. He has done dynamic response of model footings resting on finite sand stratum under vertical vibrations. So that is using our fabricated, the black vibration test. And of course, we have done a lot of consultancy for all major organizations. So this is about research. And then coming to the important topic, past 2 years of my career after my PhD, I am very much impressed about the case histories. But of course, none of the case histories, whatever I'm going to present, is not my work, but have experienced all these things and also have visited some of the sites also. So impact of case histories in geotechnical engineering for the safe and economic design of foundations. Such as we have to learn lessons from the case histories. And basically, when I started my career as a geotechnical engineer in 1994, so we used to do the soil investigation in an ethical way. We used to conduct soil investigation in a very perfect manner, and even for the SPT, we used to take the weight, 65 kgs, height of fall, everything we used to take correctly. But when I joined as a reader in UVC, and when I take up some projects, I was really shocked to see that people are not bothered about the SPT test and also the ethical things. So therefore, I have reduced my consultancy work as a professor, and then I have diverted my concentration on the IGS activities and administration. Very limited projects. Only whenever there is a crisis, I used to be called. Recently, my last project was, there was a project in Banaswadi. 17th floor apartment was being constructed, and the excavation was done up to 10 meters. The adjacent structures, the buildings were cracked, and the High Court judge, Honorable High Court judge of Karnataka, appointed me as the chief consultant, and with the help of Dr. Venkatesh of Optech Foundations, we have given the remedial measures and recommended it, and the judge has appreciated it, and now the solutions have been given. So like that, only in the crisis, whenever the government of Karnataka invites me, I used to do the projects along with Professor Govind Raju and others. We have done a couple of projects also. So based on those things, I thought, I can share my experience. So this is a forum wherein all geotechnical stalwarts and students are there. I think how ignorant are the civil engineers about the geotechnical investigation, about the adjacent structures. And in Bangalore itself, my MTech students in 2022, they have surveyed the whole Bangalore for 2 years. There are 25 buildings collapsed due to the ignorance or the negligence of the owners about the soil investigation. They have not taken care of the soil properly. So I'm just going to, before that, I want to brush up our young students. The soil is a three-phase system. This is an amazing figure. You can see, if you take some soil in hand, it is not a rectangle. It is a three-phase system. It is an assumed figure. So using this figure, we have derived 15 interrelationships and 15 definitions we have given. And that, of course, that is validated in the laboratory experiments from the water content onwards. Of course, for the different types of soils, the Montmaltic type of soil and the kalinetics of soil, these are things the civil engineers should know. And of course, the soil always behaves. Soil, like human beings, it always behaves. So its behavior may be different during earthquake, under industrial buildings, and in case of residential buildings or lightly loaded structures, settlement of soils, etc. And the three engineering properties, we are always interested, whatever may be the type of structure which is coming up. As a geotechnical engineer, we are interested in the compressibility, strength of soils, and the permeability of the soils. Maybe differential settlement is one of that. And of course, we are always, depending on the type of soil, we go for the deep foundation or the shallow foundations. In all these things, economy and safety is the primary importance for all of us. So it may be we have to take care of the water table effects, stability of slopes, land fillings, roots of trees, which is the natural stability, etc. And this is one of the figure I always like to share always. When you stand on the ground, you don't know. Mother Earth is highly confidential. If you take some soil in the hand, you may be having different types of soil sizes. It may be, clay, silt, sand, etc. So below the ground level, we cannot say, we don't know what is the type of soil. It may be silt, clay, sand, water table may be encountered, there may be some boulders, etc. Mother Earth is highly confidential. Therefore, the index and engineering properties of soil, types of soil, and soil investigation is utmost important for any civil engineering projects, as clearly demonstrated by our friend Sri Ranganath. So now I'm going to talk about quickly, maybe 5 to 7 minutes, about the topics about the impact of case histories in geotechnical engineering for design of civil engineering projects. So we can always look upon the following points. The first one is the failure due to ignoring or lack of knowledge of soil investigation. I'll show a couple of slides wherein the people are ignorant about it. Failure of adjacent structures due to deep excavations. They are not taking care of the remedial measures. As a result, adjacent structures are affected. And failure due to chemical reaction. So this is one of the case histories. Of course, it has led to my PhD degree. It is a paper by Dahlhunter in 1975. I'll tell you briefly in 1 or 2 minutes. And failure due to over-dependence on computer-generated designs. Sometimes it will affect that also. I will show one of the case histories. And deep foundation failures due to differential settlement, that is a general one. And geotechnical failure due to poor assessment of soil type and external environmental conditions. So these are some of the important points I would like to mention here as far as the case histories are concerned. As a field engineer, as a geotechnical engineer, we had to suggest it to the civil engineers for the construction. So most of the structures, the first one I want to show few slides. Failure due to ignoring or lack of knowledge of soil investigation. So Sri Ranganath already demonstrated it in detail, but I will just go through, with highlighting the points. So most of the structures which are collapsed in many places are either due to ignorance or lack of knowledge of the soil investigation. Few cases are presented here between 2021. This is, in fact, my MTech students visited the sites and then reported and got the informations. And this is of course, they have not visited this. This is one of the foundation failure, St. Thomas Church at New Delhi. So this was constructed, of course, at that time soil investigation may not be popular. It was built in 1933. Due to heavy rains in 1958 and 64, it was resulted in widespread damage and differential settlement, and it was collapsed. So it was found that, it is, the failure is due to the erratic scatter of graves on 2 levels, and there were many subsequent failures in various parts of the structure in the following years. In June 1964, settlement of the building was monitored at 19 points on the outer walls. So it is due to, again, the lack of knowledge of the soil investigation. So this is one of the building which has collapsed in Bangalore, building at Purnachandra layout in October 21. So it was a G+3 building, and it's a very small site, 10 to 20 square feet. And the causes of the main cause is to stormwater drain runs deeper than the foundation of the building. So that is one of the reason. So you can see the building which is failed. It was observed that the building site is very small and right next to the stormwater drain. So this is, of course, a classical geotechnical failure which is already established, called the differential settlement, that is usually caused by unequal load distribution resulting in unequal settlement of the foundation. So this is clearly the ignorance of the knowledge of soil mechanics, the geotechnical investigation. And one more building in Hebbal, Kempapura, it was collapsed in February 5th, 2020. It's a 5-story building. Again, it's a 2030. And the foundation pillar of the collapsed building was damaged during the excavation and caused the tilting of the building. You can have a look at this. So, of course, here, again, it is the negligence of the engineer. Because they have not instructed the JCB operator while excavating in the adjacent plot, had damaged the parts of the foundation column of the building, causing the weakening of the structure. So the forensic observation states that the sump adjacent to the plot developed cracks and water entered into it, and the weakened soil and damaged foundation's pillar together has caused the failure. Then next one is the failure of the adjacent structures due to deep excavations. So this particular research, on these deep excavations, Sri Jayaprakash has carried out extensively on this, and he is working on that. And this is one of the case history. Of course, recently I have finished one project on that. So this is a very interesting one. Deep excavations with the soil is nowadays, the horizontal growth than the horizontal growth, vertical growth is preferred due to the land value. So as a result, one should take care of the remedial measures or the precautionary measures during the deep excavations. So the two buildings in Kamla Nagar, so the buildings were constructed side by side in a 15 by 40 feet plot. One building was G+3 and other one is G+1, and was constructed on an elevated plane with respect to the plot behind it. You can see here. See here, the foundation of the building was in an elevated plane, and then ground floor sank following the foundation failure. And here the interesting thing is, a building in the plot behind was demolished recently, and both the buildings had common walls on the adjacent sides. So this is also the lack of observation on the part of the civil engineers and the geotechnical engineers. So after the demolition of the building, behind this building lost lateral support for the foundation at the back. Due to heavy rainfall, the soil under the foundation washed off. Thus, the foundation failed due to the rapid movement of the land mass over the slope. So next one is building collapse near Kapali Theatre. Most of you know that. It is also one of the deep excavation problem. The building was located adjacent to Kapali Theatre, and the building has ground and 3 floors, in which 2 are flat made guest houses, and recreational club is at another flat. So our geotechnical friends from Baroda, they are the consultants, and I had an opportunity to visit the site and assess the problems. And here, the deep excavation next to the collapsed building, so they have not taken the precautionary measures, they are not constructed diaphragm wall or something like that. Building collapse imaging, and also the video also had come in the WhatsApp, the collapse of the buildings. Next, the causes is setback rule violations, and also so many reasons. Next, forensic observations. Next, I'll just quickly go. Next one is, third one is the failure due to chemical reaction. So this is one of the important case history of lime-induced heave in sulfate-bearing clay soils. So this is the case history wherein thousands of miles in US, Las Vegas, the highway was constructed on the Blackerton soil using the lime stabilization technique. So the performance of the highway was very good for the first 3 months, and after 3 months, some deterioration was observed, and after 6 months or 7 months or 8 months, the highway was not suitable for the operation of the traffic. When the postmortem study and the detailed investigation was done, the lime stabilization done for the Blackerton soil is perfectly all right, and absolutely there is no lack of procedures, everything was correct. And then finally, they have gone for the chemical testing. They have found that there is a traces of sulfate, about 0.5% of sulfate was present there. As a result, the lime and sulfate in presence of alumina silica of the Blackerton soil reacted with the Blackerton soil and formed the swelling type of compounds. Below 15 degrees centigrade, it form a complex swelling type of compound called thaumasite. Above 15 degrees centigrade, it is called as ettringite. The swelling type of compounds have created the undulations, and the highway was abandoned. And just believe me, the repair cost of the highway is almost equal to the cost of the construction. So this gives us the insight that whenever you go for the chemical additives, when you are using, the opinion of the soil chemist should be taken. Then this is one of the important thing, failure due to over dependence on the computer generated designs. So this is one of the significant cuts and fills dictated use of retaining walls near property boundaries, and crib wall selected due to low relative cost. And you can see here, within 6 months of construction, crib wall failed, threatened of parking a lot of adjacent shopping center. And then you can see here the wall and the backfill weight and the active pressure, the analysis plane. See, all are not in order, passive pressure. Then crib walls are not rigid. So the walls over 25 feet in height were found to settle differentially, leading to a progressive failure over time. More massive walls are required to shift the resultant of pressures to the center of the wall base to avoid differential settlement. So here the lesson learned is the computer programs are only as useful and accurate as the assumptions made and data inputs used. So data inputs, one should be very careful when you are giving the data inputs from the experiments and also the investigations. So based on this, this is one of the case histories and the field investigations. Even today, I like it, and it is my pet subject, even though I am an academician. But however, I would like to give my final message in the form of conclusions to the youngsters who are here, the geotechnical engineers. For the construction of any civil engineering structure, the soil investigation is very much essential for the safe and economic design of foundation, and the following guidelines are to be followed. First one is the soil data has to be analyzed from laboratory and field investigation to understand the nature and behavior of the soil. Second one, for deep excavations, the safety of the adjacent structures are to be ensured by learning lessons from past case histories. Third one is for stabilization of soils using chemicals, the opinion of the soil chemist is to be considered. Then over dependence on computer generated designs for foundations are to be avoided. The soil data has to be assessed accurately in the field and in the laboratory based on the load transferred from the superstructure to avoid differential settlements and adverse effects due to external environmental conditions. Next, in order to successfully design a foundation in a soft soil area, engineers not only need to consider the final loading conditions, but also any temporary loadings such as those that might arise from the storage of construction materials and construction of generated waste, etc. So with this, I conclude my lecture, and I sincerely give my pranams to my teachers and research supervisors, Professor P.V. Shupalaya and Professor A. Sridharan, who have guided me throughout my career, even after my PhD, whether it is personal life or research or academic. They're all with me till I finish my career in UVCE. And also my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to my PhD students, starting from Prasanna Kumar, Nanda, Krishna, Vishwanath, Manoj Krishna, Pratap Kumar, Krishnaya, Venkatraj Mohan, Netravati, Vijay Kumar, Jay Prakash, Paul Chandra, Madhavi, Manjunath, and Rakesh. And my thanks to and gratitude to, he's not my student, he's my friend, and he's my supporter in all respects. And I want to acknowledge him. when I was the chairman of the civil engineering department, he has agreed that 20 students per year he used to recruit. And I achieved a record 100% placement when I was the chairman. Thanks to Ranganath and others, I achieved 2 years 100% placement. It's still a record for civil engineering department alone. So thanks to Dr. N. Ranganath, and nearly 85 my ME MTech students who carried out research under me, and other ME MTech and BTech students who kept me young because of their interaction. Even today I'm feeling very young. I'm 62, but I'm feeling still 26. Lastly, but not the least, all the faculty members of UVC and IISc, particularly Professor Babu, Raghuveer, Madhavi Lata, Professor Sudhakar Rao, Professor BRS, Professor Subbarao sir, so all faculty members, and IGS Bengaluru Chapter gave me lot of help and relaxation to me, because I don't want to do consultancy, but I want to spend time. So to my rescue, IGS Bengaluru Chapter and national body has come. I have spent a lot of time as a secretary, as a vice chairman, and also the chairman of local chapter. And since 2000, with 2-3 breaks, I have been the national executive member of IGS. And also my sincere gratitude to my wife particularly, and also my family members, my well-wishers, friends and relatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Ramesh. I think we have now a present duty. What we do now is that I think Professor Ramesh will be here and he will be honored. And Mamata is here. Maybe you can join him. But it's a simple. I think she wants Mohan Kumari, please come. Okay, so.
I request Professor Babu to give him. I request Professor Babu to give a memento to Mr. Ranganath. Now I request Professor Babu to felicitate Professor Ramesh.
faculty members of UVCE, Civil Engineering Department, and students of let them stand. Because they do.
We are neither students nor colleagues, but more than that.
We'll get down maybe.
No, stand here as Bangalore chapter. Bani, what is it?
Being a student.
Come, yeah, Bani, come.
Now we have the present task of sharing some memories, and so I thought we should start with the senior most members who are associated with him. His guides are here, his well-wishers are here, and some of his students. So Professor Rao, Professor K. Rao is here, Professor Supalaya. Sir, you want to?
Babu, I think you should give me my time, because my memory goes back to 36 years when I first interacted with Dr. Ramesh. And 36 years, not only did PhD, he joined in 88. And he remembers very well, it is 8th August 1988. So till, that's why I remember so well. And he is the one person who kept in touch constantly for all these 36 years. Maybe except 2 months, in the last 2 months, I am not in touch with him much. But otherwise, he is in touch with me continuously. And most of his earlier students, not only Ramesh, and I know most of his PhD and postdoc MTech students. And all in my activities in my at IISc, he is constantly in touch with him. And also know his family completely, his wife and his son and daughter. And they say, for every successful man, there should be woman behind. And I think the success of Ramesh not only goes to him or to his guides, but to his wife. Just now we have seen. After his wife, I think success also goes to his students. And few years back, I organized here, under the guidance of Professor Subbarao, for a retirement function of Professor Sridharan and Nagaraj in the same stage. At that time, Professor Subra was organizing who all should speak. Though I was in the front as organizing secretary, all key decisions were made by Professor Subrao and conveyed to me. So whatever good things happen, it is only because of Professor Subrao. And and at that time also, I said, if Professor Sridharan and Nagaraj are very successful, the credit goes to their wives. But now, I thought what I should say. I should not repeat the same thing. It comes under plagiarism. So what I thought is, the success of Ramesh is because of his students. If I am not so successful, at that time I said, it is, don't blame me, it is only because of my wife. If I am not successful today, it is not because of me, it is because of my students. But now, I think it's not a very pleasant occasion to say like that. I say that we used to be in constant touch with each other, almost day-to-day basis, and used to be so proud. I am the only student of you who is in touch with you. I tolerated you for the last 35 years. But no longer I will tolerate, be careful now. Thanks to him for together. Sir, and all his research projects, all the time, whenever he used to give good public meetings, he used to consult me. Today he has delivered very well. You know why? He has not consulted me. And earlier I said I arranged a same retirement function of Professor Sridharan. At that time, Professor Subra was listing the people who all should speak. Though they say platform is open, to a large extent they decide, and the last moment they may say one or two, anybody wants to speak, now time is up, come and go. So, that way. Today, anyhow, I got the first chance. And also, you all know very well about my weakness for the mic. I already told you that one. And he used to tell me, actually, whenever he has a problem, any professional problem, personal problem, everything, he used to consult me. And he used to put me some ideas which are not to my liking, and gets my feedback. You know why? I asked him, you are telling all different things and now you are talking differently. No, sir, I want to provocate you so that anybody asks any negative questions, I will be ready to face that. And he also says, sir, at that time you helped me for everything, doing my PhD. At that time I enjoyed taking your help. But later I realized I started depending on you too much, which is not good. And of course, many examples told about my colleagues. I don't want to name because see how well they have made, because he made them to struggle themselves and go up. So I realized that sometimes helping also should be limited by any person. Otherwise, they will not grow on top. Okay, I think there are so many students, colleagues, personal colleagues who are gathered here in large numbers to pay what you call happy retirement. I don't think he is really retiring. He is active and would like to be active for some more time. I only thank him for his support to me for the last 35 years. And also I have taken an apartment very close to him, thinking that he will help. Now I have to see how much he will help. Earlier used to be too busy. Now he is also coming partly into my status of official retirement, post-retirement period. And anyhow, once again, I wish him all the best, to him, his wife, his family. I also know his mother, brother, family, entire thing. And similarly, he knows all about myself. So knowing all about may not be always good. So, anyhow, let me use this occasion only in the positive mind. And at that time, only one last moment. When the retirement of Professor Sridharan Nagaraj, Professor Subbarao said, he listed all the people. Hey, I am organizing secretary, you are not giving me any chance. He said, I am giving you the mic. It is left to you how to use it. I think from that day, I never missed a chance of using the mic. So again, my addiction to mic is not my problem. It is the hint given and exploited to the full extent by me. Okay? I think I spoken well, and many people are. Yes, sir, Vijayendra? One more small incident. At that time, when retirement function is there, I myself got with some difficulty, accommodated, cleverly managed and exploited. And I asked Ramesh, he's a student at that time, you know. After the colleague, they also wanted one of the students to come. Not before the Ramesh like Ranganath speaking earlier, but at that time, after the felicitation, Ramesh was asked to say. He went to stage. He completely lost on the stage because he is not suddenly seeing so many 300 people coming from different parts and all big people, and he started talking something incoherent. But today you have seen how much he is matured and he is talking so nicely, and this is another compliment to him for his successful, what do you say, small seed, if at all, I put in the SOIL, how big it has grown. It is happy to me, not only to me, much more happy to Professor K.N.V. Rao. Who was K.N.V. Rao was his teacher at engineering. So they also know very well. And at this rate, I think I need a separate session only to give feedback about Ramesh to all of you. And now I don't want people to curse me. All the best, Ramesh and his family. All his students, don't forget me. You can keep with me. Though my leg has become weak after my brain stroke, I think my mind is still working. Do you agree? Okay. Thank you very much. Huh?
No, thank you, Professor PVS. He had more time as a special case, but we request people to stick on to just 2 minutes. Of course, we may have, yeah, please come, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. All distinguished geotechnical engineers and especially students of Professor Ramesh. On this occasion, I am really happy and proud that Ramesh was my student in BDT College, and maybe I taught first course in soil mechanics when he was there. And Dr. Shupalaya has made this function very lively by his usual way of talking. whether it is a conference or a formal or informal meeting. That is how Dr. Shupalaya speaks and makes the entire atmosphere very lively, and I thank him for making this a lively thing. And I am really proud that Ramesh has successfully completed his career, starting in Rani Bengaluru College and ending as principal and in charge director of IISc. And as you have seen, his own number of students who came here is a true indication of how popular he was as a teacher. It is okay, I too served there for 30 or 35 years in BDT College and other colleges, but to see such a number of students attending his farewell, not in UVC but in IISc also, it is a great compliment to him for his popularity and commitment as a teacher. And as you have seen in his lecture, as well as during his talk, he has guided number of PhD students, number of MTech students, and he has taught very sincerely, and he has been a very active member of Indian Geotechnology of Bangalore, and he has been serving almost, except technically he has to have a break. He had a break for membership of ISTE National Executive Committee, but for that he is there for a number of years, and that way he is not only actively associated with the activities of the Indian Geotechnology Chapter, Bangalore Chapter, he is also concerned with the activities of the Indian Geotechnical Society itself. Of course, I only had wished him that he would have become, at least on paper, a much more higher post he got it, but unfortunately our system and circumstances made him, and maybe he is also disappointed to some extent. He would have become Vice Chancellor of some university, and unfortunately he could not. But doesn't matter. He has been a very good researcher, he has been a very good teacher, and now he has enough free time. He can be a freelancer, geotechnical consultant, and he can do so many other things which probably he couldn't do as a teacher. As Sri Rangarajan was telling, so many things we cannot do during our service because of the constraint. We can let our activities. Because I have seen many people who were very good engineers, they would become either philosophical people or some other writers or some other or legal experts like Sri Rangarajan. So like that, whatever inner talent you have, you can explore yourself. You can be an active consultant. And there are many examples here itself. Professor BRS probably was more active after retirement than when he was a professor here as a consultant. And many like Professor Subbarao and so many people, even after retirement, they have been very active. So like that, with the change in the type of activities going on in the country, there are enough opportunities for Professor Ramesh to be involved in the professional activity as well as any other activity he will have. So on this occasion, I am really happy and proud to be present here. I wish him and his family all the very best. And not only that, apart from being a student, he has been my well-wisher. And maybe there is no week where either he will speak to me or I will speak to him. Every week either I will speak to him or he will speak, how are you, sir? Or I will speak to you, how are you, Ramesh? So that is the type of relationship I have with him, not only as a student, he has been more like a friend also to me. So that way I am grateful to him that he always respects me as a teacher, and also he respects me, he wishes me always whatever I want to accomplish, and he has also been present to all my personal functions, and he has been very fond of me as a teacher and myself. So on this happy occasion, not happy in the sense that he has been relieved from the official duties, he is a free man. So I wish him all the best, and I look forward to him to become more in limelight than what he was as a professor and director. So thank you, Pramesh. All the very best to you.
Sir, I think we have Professor Sridharan. I'm not sure if he can speak. He can, okay. Who else will? Bani.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಈ ದಿನ ನಾವು ಎಚ್ ಎನ್ ರಮೇಶ್ರವರ ಸೂಪರ್ ಆನ್ಯುಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ದಿನದಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಲ್ ದ ಜಿಯೋಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ ಆರ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ನೋ ರಮೇಶ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ he was my junior 1 year at Government BDT College of Engineering, Davangere. Then we had a common mentor. For any problem, we used to go to one professor, P.V. Shivapallaya. He is here. So he was always, mentoring both of us many times. But I only stayed for 2 years at IISc along with Professor Subbarao and Professor P.V. Shivapallaya. But later, our common teacher was Professor K.N. Venkatakrishna Rao. He was my teacher as well in Davangere. Okay, so Ramesh, as you all know, he always keeps contact with everybody. He continuously keeps calling and giving us, information about the society, and we used to meet regularly in the Indian Geotechnical Society meeting. And he used to also come to Indian Institute of Science. Whenever he used to come and say hello to all of us in soil mechanics laboratory, because he never felt that he's always feel that he's very closely linked to geotechnical engineering group of IISc. Even though he went to UVC, his heart and soul was at IISc. Is that correct, Ramesh? So I used to see him more than my colleagues in the department. That was the kind of a thing. Since 94, I know him as a faculty. I joined 94 at IISc. And Ramesh, even later on also, he kept in contact with me. So I wish him the great, this is not the end, because I was just telling his wife today morning, so we need to find something else. Otherwise, Ramesh cannot sit quiet. He wants to continuously keep working, whether it is society activity or the academic activities. So he really took the civil engineering department at UECE to greater heights. He introduced a lot of research problems and new courses at UECE. I'm really very proud of him, and I wish him the very best after his superannuation. But that is not retirement for him. He is very perfectly healthy, and it is not a retirement for him. And I wish that he will continue to work further in different capacities. And it is today, up to 70 years, he already being the director of UVCE in charge. He can continuously try. We wish that he will get some vice chancellorship soon in some universities, and he will serve the higher education. I am a very small person, sir, but definitely I wish him from wholeheartedly that he should become a vice chancellor somewhere, because he should have got it by this time, but he missed it in a very whisker. But definitely it is not the end. There is a lot of time. Ramesh, all the very best to you, and also to your family. Very good luck to you. And I keep seeing you anyway. I'm here, you are also here, so we'll keep meeting and wish you all the very best. Thank you so much.
Professor, now this is nothing for the lecture. Well, if you want to see a good teacher, see in the eyes of a student. Today we remember Ramakrishna, Paramahamsa, only because of Swami Vivekananda. I would have forgotten. Sandeepini, you remember, only because Balarama and Krishna. So whatever may be the performance of a teacher, if at all you have to remember, it's only due to the hard work, efficiency, and the hand-holding and the path that is shown, which can be done only by a teacher. A guru is nothing but a global positioning system. Today in the entire world, you want to go anywhere, switch on GPS. So in your career, you want to achieve your target, switch on the guru GPS. You will achieve your target. And I'm a classic example. See, I didn't know that why I should do a master degree. Because I was very well off in my profession. I'm not going to get even 1 rupee increment in my career. I still remember, it was a Purnima day. We were working on a shrimp project across DCM Sriram, I still remember. Night sitting on a culvert, midnight, we were walking and he said, Rangnath, you should do your MSc engineering. I said, what the hell MSc engineering? I say, why should I do an MSc engineering? Neither I get any increment because I was already the director and I'm going to become a CEO. Where should I do it? No increment in salary because I've reached the top. Why should I do it? He said, no, you should do it. 3 years, he ensured that I'll complete my. Used to have a regular follow-up. Otherwise, I never think in my lifetime I would have done. Once I did it, I left my academic for a long time. I still remember in 2015 or 16, I was working by then in Gujarat. I was closely associated with a couple of projects, of course, the present Prime Minister. Again, I told him there is an opportunity. He said, jump into it. So I got enrolled. And first 2 years, I never went to the university. Then there was one guy who wrote to me when I was working in an oil and gas project in Digboy at the time. He said, Rangnath, if you don't attend, your studentship will be cancelled. I said, you cancel it. Because I'm owning a company. I have more than 200 engineers. What do I do with my PhD? I didn't know about it. He said, see, just come down. So I came. On a weekend, believe it or not, on a Friday and a Saturday, I was made to sit in his cabin, made me to write 4 papers. 3 technical, 1 on research. I wrote all the 4 papers in 2 days. Took a flight, went, wrote, and finished. He says, don't worry, Rangnath, you go ahead. Then after 4 years, and I told, you see, we need some external exam. He is the man who connected to great Professor Madhavi Lata Madam. I can never forget. Thank you so much, Madam. She was my external examiner. After I finished that day, I realized what is the power of a PhD. Really, I'll tell you, the power of PhD in my life, I realized what is that it is you are going to be in the life. And thanks to this great man who is sitting in front of us, he never utters one word about it. He never claims what he has done it. And if I'm talking in front of you, standing so boldly, and making each and every statement, it is because of his support which I have received in my life. In Sanskrit, there is a proverb, we call it as, Shikshat chayam gacchati kala paryayat subuddha mula nipatanti padapaha jalam jalasthana gatancha shishyati utancha dattancha tathaiva tishtati. You can be anything in your life. Whatever may be that you are earning, in terms of knowledge, one day you will forget. You'll forget about it. All your education, knowledge, everything is forgotten. Whatever may be the size of the tree that you are going to talk about, one day it has to collapse. Wherever the water can fall, whether it falls on the top of the mountain, thick in the forest, ultimately it has to join the sea and become saline. But what it is going to stand forever? As long as the sun and the moon is going to be there, is the good act, good deed what you have done in the life. That has been written thousands of years back by great teachers. And I remember, whenever I chant this particular thing, always Professor H.N. Ramesh. Thank you so much, sir. You are not retiring. We are going to make another beginning. Where is the end to us till we talk about 3 feet by 6 feet? So there is no end to all of us. It's always a new beginning. We are with you. We'll make it to happen. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Take care.
to all of you. So, we came in contact at Malaysia. He had also come to attend the conference. I was also there, my IIT Madras. And during the coffee break, I was talking candidates. One of the person who had come from Manipal. Then only he came to know that I am also a Kannada person. Then he said he have seen me number of times at the IISc laboratory. So afterwards, after retirement, I came back and invited me to be a visiting faculty for one semester at UVC. So with that, our involvement started increasing. Afterwards, we are meeting at least once in 2 months or 3 months for various activities other than geotechnical engineering. So with this, I wish him, Professor Ramesh, all the best and have a peaceful life. It is not a retired life, it is a retired life, and be happy and be prosperous. Thank you.
Good afternoon, dignitaries on the dais, my Guru Ramesh sir. I wanted to share 1 minute about the relationship with Ramesh sir. When I joined UVC, I met the principal Ranga sir. Then I asked, sir, can I get job after BE Civil? Then they said that when Ramesh sir is there, why are you worried? There is a professor called Ramesh sir, you go and meet him. Till today, I am not told that one to this sir. And we are scared about Ramesh sir till today to talk with him. Then after BE, when I went there and I asked, sir, somebody is saying in Sikan surveys you will get the job to your students. Can I get one job, sir? Then I said, sir said, why you are, after BE, why you are going? You do ME and then you join the job in Sikan surveys. You don't worry about job. You first perform ME, sir said. Then immediately I taken PGCET and I joined ME by the grace of God. So Ramesh sir was my MTech guide. Then we had lot of problems, financial problems in family. In the middle of after first semester, I stopped going to the college. I went back to my house. Then after 15 days, sir has called me and through landline to my neighbor house, and they said that why you are not coming to college. Then I said that, sir, some problem is there. I discontinuing my MTech. Then he said, if you have finance problem, don't worry, I am with you. And I can say entire my ME fees is paid, the dissertation amount is paid by sir, and sir has helped me a lot. Then when I come yet to complete my MTech, sir said, are you interested in PhD? Even Nanda sir also know that at what stage financially I was there and MTech. So then I said, yes sir, but I want a job to stay in Bangalore. Then sir said that, okay, you don't worry about job. Are you interested in PhD? Yes, I said, yes sir, I am interested in PhD. I wanted to do under you. Even I got an interview letter from IISc, but I said, sir, I wanted to do under you because you are the person who has helped me in my MTech thesis, fees paying, everything. Then I waited for 4 years to get this slot for MTech, Ramesh sir slot, and then I joined PhD. So I learned lot of things from sir, the dedication, hard work and sincerity. Today, whatever I am here, so our family is here. That is for that Ramesh sir is responsible for it. So I am very much grateful to Ramesh sir. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Venkatraj Mohan, was served as professor at Dr. Ambedkar Institute of Technology. I first met my beloved professor, Professor H.N. Ramesh, at NIT Calicut. He came there to deliver a lecture. Since it was a 15 days program, and I was the only participant from Bangalore, I was searching the list of speakers who has come from the Karnataka. Then I found Professor H.N. Ramesh and we had a discussion. in Kannada. That because of 15 days, I missed Kannada. And, I was very enthusiastic to speak to my beloved professor. Later on, in 2004, it has happened to be a QAP student under my beloved professor. We carried out a first of its kind environmental geotechnic thesis for nearly 4 years. And at this point of time, I acknowledge Professor P.V. Shivapulaya sir also for all the interaction he allowed me, and has given me all his publications. And I also remember one of my other teacher who is here, Professor H.S. Nanda. He was my teacher during UG in Malnad College of Engineering, Hassan. And my beloved professor used to be with me so friendly, and many times he asked me to sit next to him in his car. So I used to hesitate. So can I sit next to my guide? And banri kutkodri yenagalla adralli enide. So like that he made himself so comfortable with me, and I learned many things from him and implemented in facing a lot of personal life challenges and professional life challenges. And then I learned a few things which still I implemented, and I'm going to implement also. That is, one is hard work, patience, and no compromise with the quality, and time management. It's many things I learned from him. We both have retired on the same day on the records. So that was, I wished him, and at this point I wish him a great success in all his undertakings, and I thank organizer for giving me an opportunity to speak a few words on my beloved Professor H.N. Ramesh. Thank you, Vananda.
Yeah, good afternoon. Rather, I need to say. Rather, I would like to say good evening, everybody. And my association with Dr. HNR dates back to, I think, 97 and 98, where we used to do valuation work. And we used to meet occasionally during valuation, and he used to call me, Pratap, come here. The way he used to speak and call me, I always felt friendly atmosphere. That is the reason why I selected him as a guide. And during initial periods, maybe perhaps during initial period of 1 year, I felt my PhD was directionless. And I expressed my concern with my guide, and immediately said, I will give you full freedom, whatever topic you want to choose, whatever equipment you want. You just tell me, you go ahead, and I'll give you full freedom. You can do whatever topic you want, you can do it. And within 2 months, I think it took almost 1 month to do some reorbitation, and I told I want these equipments. And I think within 2 or 3 months I got that equipment. And when I got that equipment, I felt how to use that equipment, because I was doing part-time PhD. Immediately, don't worry, my guide told, don't worry, I will get you the students. I think from there, that day onwards, I got many students. I need to acknowledge them also, starting from Sapna, then Netravati, Bhavya, and then Raghunandan, then Sainath Reddy. All helped me to complete the PhD. And during my PhD, I think my guide gave me full freedom. And after completing my PhD, I wrote almost about 400 to 500 pages of thesis, and I showed it to him. Immediately told, hey, Stella Baripatappa. You come to my own, because I think those days his daughter was doing SLC, and son was doing plus 12. I think I troubled Madam Sir also. And he used to call me to his house, and he used to manage both his daughter's study as well as my thesis editing also. and several times I used to go to his house, and I felt like always a part of his family member. That is how he treated me, even though I was a peer student. That is the reason why, even now, whenever I feel like consulting somebody, the first person that comes to my mind is my guide HNR. I will immediately call him, and I will express what shall I do it, and he will immediately guide me even in my personal life also. So thank you very much, sir, for your guidance, and I think I am fortunate to have Dr. HNR as guide. That is the one good thing that has happened in my life. And I pray Almighty to give me healthy, long life and a happy second innings. I know that he will not, as Professor told, Shivapulaya told, he will be very active. He will not sit silently. He has to do something, and I think he will do something. So once again, we pray the Almighty to give a very healthy and long life, sir. Thank you very much, and thank you, madam.
So we'll have the last speaker, just 1 minute, and after that there is a tea, or okay, Professor Raghuveer, last. I think after that you have tea or something? Oh, high tea.
Good evening, all the dignitaries. Sir, I'm Chetan from IGS Mysore chapter. Today, actually, I introduced you, and we used to meet 3 years back from online only. And regarding from Prasad sir, as your close friend, he can't able to come here, and as well as from all our IGS Mysore chapter, we wish you a very happy, healthy, and successful future in ahead. Thank you so much.
Sir, my name is Ramesh. I come from a family of electrical engineers. When I entered UVC in 1999, I had only one ambition, to study in the college where my grandfather had studied, because he has served directly under Sir MV in Shivanasamudram as well as Mettur and Mettur Dam. So today, without going much, I would like to honor 3 very important people who have been instrumental to see that I am standing in this position. Currently, I work in Tata Consulting Engineers as General Manager. So the 3 persons, they have played very important role in my life. That is Professor T.N. Ramamurthy, my lecturer in RV College of Engineering. My next is my Dr. H.N. Ramesh, who has been my guide, and my co-guide from IISc, Professor P.V. Shivapulaya. And in fact, I'm very lucky that one of my projects, my reviewer was Professor A. Sridharan, and I'm much more happier that 2 of my former employers are also here, Dr. Ranganath and Dr. Jaiprakash. If I and my family are at this position, because I know from which position I have come. In 1999, the stipend from GATE stipend was not coming on time. Sir told that he will pay the 3rd semester fees. First, somehow I managed, because I did some part-time work and came. But I had some independent thing, because we come from such things. Sir just told me, complete your course. After that, I will ensure your stipend. In that stipend, you pay me back. For me, if I'm very comfortable apart from my house, it is sir's house only. Thank you very much, sir.
Good evening, everyone. So, I met H.N. Ramesh on 25th May 1989 when I joined IISc. So I met first faculty, Professor A. Sridharan, who was convener of the soil mechanics lab. And next, the first student I met is Ramesh, who was working in the lab just opposite to Professor Sridharan's room. So from that day onwards, we are maintaining a lot of relations with them. And what I noticed is he is a very meticulous experimentalist, and I learned a lot of experiments from him. And one good thing about Ramesh is he has no inhibitions. He will simply talk whatever comes to his mind. He will not hide anything. The best example, some of them I can quote is, now he got an interview call from UVC when he was here for, I think, reader post. Then before going to that interview, me and Ramnath was there, fellow researcher with him. He told, see, I'm going for a reader post interview. One day I'll become VC. He told that to me and Ramnath. Yes, that is the level of aspiration he has, and of course he has become VC. And another thing is, when he was attending the interview, Dr. Sharada Bai also was attending the same interview. Then he told her, what madam, you did PhD 10 years before me and you are competing with me now. That is the way he speaks. He will not hide anything. He will simply talk like that. That is the speciality about Ramesh. And one more thing about him is speaking in Kannada. Usually anybody will speak Kannada in Karnataka. That is normal. When you go outside Karnataka also, you will simply speak in Kannada. Whether people will talk in Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi, English, anything, he will just talk in Kannada. So we have traveled together with several IGSs. He will happily speak with a driver or shop fellow, anybody. Bharate. It is not that he cannot speak English, but he wants to teach them some Kannada. You see, he will happily talk in Kannada. Sometimes they will reply some way, but that is the specialty. So I wish him all the post-superannuation, health, everything. Congrats. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ramesh. Actually, thanks to all of you. I think you may have a lot of other things. You can talk to him later, but now the session is handed to organizers. Next, the facilitation function. Or what else? Oh, Ramesh, I'm sorry. Professor Ramesh has to respond. My request is to respond. Thank you. I'm in a hurry. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can take more time.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. My dear teachers, ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಐ ಆಮ್ ಎ ಕನ್ನಡ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವಿಸ್ಟ್. ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮರ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ my dear teachers, respected professors, Professor IGS, IGS President, Professor Babu, Madhavilata, and all my teachers, my students, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. So I am very much grateful to all the people, professors, teachers, my dear students, having told so many positive things about me that I didn't know. Really, I don't know. Maybe I don't think it's an exaggeration. I'm really excited to know many things. Even I didn't expect Professor Sitaram knows so many things about me. And thank you very much, sir. And Professor Shupulaya, sir, has given a lot of insight, and also in a lively manner he has conveyed so many things. And I am very much delighted and excited that my professor and other research supervisor, senior supervisor, Professor Sridharan is here, and really I am really blessed today. And I learned soil mechanics, rightly told by Professor K.N.V. Rao, when he did his PhD from IISc in 1981. He taught me strength of materials. It has become my pet subject, and I taught that subject throughout my career, even in Ranebennur. And basics of soil mechanics and foundation engineering he taught me. And these are the three subjects are really I enjoyed. And also the water resources subject taught by Professor B.N.K. So these two teachers, they are really, even today I am in touch with him. Professor B.N.K. is around 91 years. I will be regularly visiting his house. Even Professor K.N.V. Rao also will be coming. And I'm very much happy today that people, all speakers, spoke so nicely about me. I am not feeling 62 today, I am really 26. That is the feedback you people have given. Definitely, you have inspired me to do some second innings. Actually, in my whole 40 years of career, I want to share with you, the hell of a period is last 2 years, when UVC has become the university on IIT model. They have not given the director post, but they asked me to work as a director. There was a lot of harassment from the government, from the Bangalore University, teachers, everything. Only one person who stood with me during my 2 years tenure was, it is none other than Sri Muthuraman. So he is the BOG chairman of UVCE. He's the Tata Steel Vice Chairman. He was a Padma Vibhushan awardee. And I used to talk to him every day, 4 to 5 calls at least. 100, 800 calls I made, it seems he was mentioning on my retirement day. So he was the only person who gave me a lot of courage. You just believe me, I was just thinking about the institution. Everybody wants me to quit. But I was thinking only about the institution, about the UVCE. If I had quit, UVCE would have collapsed. Everybody wants to go back to Bangalore University. But the act is there, we cannot go back to Bangalore University. So I worked very hard. And really, on the day when I gave that charge, really I was relieved. And in fact, last 1.5 months, I was just keeping myself at home and traveling somewhere. And somehow I am recovering from that, and I'm almost free of mind. So last 2 years, of course, it's a hell of a time. It's a great experience in my life. But of course, when as a director, I was a principal, and also I had to guide the ME students, MTech students, regular professor load, lot of administrative things. 24/7, I was very, very busy. The only thing which came to my rescue was I'm a regular, I'll be doing regular yoga, pranayama, sudarshana kriya, and walking. So this I have never compromised. And just believe me, I have started my sudarshan kriya and pranayama in 2005 with Ravi Shankar Guruji. Every day I will do it. Without that, my days will not start. So last 20 years, I have not got any, cough, cold, or fever because of that. It's a very powerful one. So this is one of the message I'm conveying to all youngsters and those who are working in tension. Pranayama and sudarshana kriya and also the yoga is very good. So I always follow one principle. Chinta se chaturayi gate, dukh se gate sharir. Means mind and body are very important. You should keep the mind in very active position and also body very active. There should not be any dukkha or chinta. That is, pranayama and yoga will give that. And if your body and mind is good, so you should be selfish about your body and mind. If you are not selfish about it, over a period of time, nobody will come to you. Your wife or sons, daughter, anybody will not come to you. So this is one of the message I'm conveying to the youngsters. Please practice yoga, pranayama, and keep your mind and body active doing all these activities. You should not compromise with this. This is the message. And thanks to one and all for your good words. And all the senior people, I'm actually the fan of Professor BRS. Whenever there is a BRS lecture, I'll never used to miss it. And even I used to, when he is giving lecture in Mysore, I used to talk to SK Prasad and take the glimpses, how he has talked, etc. I have become his fan actually. And I am missing my mentor and my good friend, Professor SK Prasad, who has helped me to develop soil dynamics subject in UVCE. And due to his personal commitments, he is not able to come, but he has conveyed his good wishes to me. And thanks, sir. So BRS, I am very happy. And Sri Rangaraju, sir, I still remember your B.K. Ramaya lecture, legal aspects in geotechnical engineering, and that we still remember. And Ramurthy, sir, we worked together. I was a joint secretary, and you are the secretary of Karnataka Geotechnical Center. And Professor Sitaram was the chairman, and I was the secretary. And he used to encourage and give a lot of encouragement. So thank you very much, sir. Even though Sitaram is 1 year senior to me, but always I feel he's a big man always in my mind. And he is really big. And he is holding the highest position in India, and we are really proud of you, sir. Even myself and K.N.V. Rao, whenever we speak every week, we remember you, and we are really proud of you. Do well. And also we wish one day you will become some governor or something like that. That is our wish. So our wish, hopefully you reach to the highest level. And also I thank the IGS authorities, President and Secretary, A.P. Singh. I'm very close to him since 2010. He made it today. I'm very, very much happy, and I thank particularly Shri Parsarthi. Actually, I am a very shy person. I am not interested in all these things. But Vijayendra and S.K. Prasad are the persons who have initiated, and Parsarthi called me, and Professor Babu, Madhavilata, Raghuveer Rao. These people are responsible for this today's function. I thank them, and really it is a very great function. Thank you very much, and thanks to one and all. Thank you.
We thank Professor Babu for conducting this session, and Dr. Ranganath for delivering the lecture, and Professor Ramesh and Mrs. Ramesh for accepting the invitation and be present here. In few minutes, we'll start the next program, that is honoring the senior members.
I'll fix and fix.
ಈಗ ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಬಿಡಿ.
ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ತಮ್ಮಗೂ ಮೇಲೆ ರಿಮೋಟ್ ಐತೆ.
Good evening. So we'll start the honoring senior members program. May I now request Professor A. Sridharan to come to the dais. Professor Subba Rao, Professor Srinivas Murthy, Professor Shivapulaya, Sri Ishwaraya, Sri T.N. Ramurthy, Professor M.R. Pranesh, Professor Chandrasekharan, Sri Srirangaraju, Professor Venkatakrishna Rao. Any seat. Mr. Okay. So may I request Professor G.L. Shivkumar Babu to honor Professor A. Sridharan. Professor A. Sridharan did his ME and ME from IISc and PhD from Purdue University, USA. He performed several key roles during his tenure at IISc, which include Professor and Chair of Civil Engineering Department and Chair Mechanical Sciences Division, Associate Director of IISc and Advisor to the Director. He is a Fellow of Indian National Science Academy, Indian Academy of Sciences and Indian National Academy of Engineering. He served as Chair of IGS Bengaluru Chapter and President of Indian Geotechnical Society. He authored more than 300 research papers with more than 12,000 citations and a H index of 59. He is recipient of numerous awards including IGS Kuppelman Award, IGS Annual Lecture Award, as well as DSc degree from Indian Institute of Science. Professor A. Sridhar. Now I request Professor T.G. Sitaram to felicitate Professor K.S. Subbarao. Professor K.S. Subbarao did his BE from Mysore University, ME and PhD from Indian Institute of Science. He served IISc for 38 years in various capacities and retired as a professor. He was a postdoctoral research fellow with Professor G.G. Meyerhoff at Nova Scotia Technical College, Canada. He is a fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering and honorary fellow of IGS. He served as chair of Department of Civil Engineering and chair of IGS Bengaluru Chapter. He received IGS Kuppelman Award and delivered 22nd IGS Annual Lecture. Now I request Professor Dr. Anil Joseph to felicitate Professor B.R. Srinivasamurthy. Professor B.R. Srinivasamurthy did his ME in Mysore, MTech from IIT Bombay and PhD from IISc. He served as a lecturer and reader at UVC Bangalore before joining the faculty of IISc in 1984. He served as the registrar of IISc for 3 years before retiring from IISc as a professor in 1998. He is widely popular for his contributions in constructing several underpasses below highways using box chalk technique and soil nailing. He has co-authored famous book of Prediction of Soil Behavior with Professor T.S. Nagaraj. He was conferred with many awards, including Professor G.A. Leonard's Award, Best Thesis Award, and IGS Kuppelman Award. He served as chair of IGS Bengaluru Chapter for several years and delivered IGS Annual Lecture. May I now request Dr. A.P. Singh to felicitate Professor P.V. Shivpullaya. Professor Shivpullaya obtained his PhD from IISc in 1977 and later superannuated from IISc as a professor after serving nearly 4 decades. Later, he was Pro-Vice Chancellor of Geetham University. He is one of the earliest researchers in geo-environmental engineering in India. He served as a member of National Executive Committee of IGS and chair of IGS Bengaluru Chapter. He delivered IGS Annual Lecture and received IGS Kuppelman Award. And he is presently an environmental advisor to several firms and advisor to many academic and professional bodies.
Thank you, Raghuveer. I request Professor Vijendra to felicitate Professor M.R. Pranesh. Professor M.R. Pranesh obtained his BE degree from NIE Mysore, ME and PhD from IISc Bangalore. He was a professor in the Ocean Engineering Center at IIT Madras. During his active service, he served as the principal of NIT Surathkal, registrar of IIT Madras, as well as the secretary to IIT JEE. Currently, he is working as a visiting professor in Department of Civil Engineering of Jain University, Bangalore. Professor Pranesh has more than 60 years of teaching, research, industrial consultancy experience. He is still very active and inspiration to many of us. Professor V.S. Chandrasekharan did his BE from NIE Mysore, ME from College of Engineering, Guindy, and PhD from University of London, Liverpool. He joined the faculty of IIT Bombay and retired as a professor. Professor Chandrasekharan was popular amongst his students and received Excellence in Teaching Award and prestigious Wasik Award and Lifetime Achievement Award of IIT Bombay. So he is known as the Centrifuge Man of India and immensely contributed for the establishment of the National Geotechnical Centrifuge Facility at IIT Bombay. He delivered the IGS Annual Lecture and received IGS Kuppelman Award. He is the Honorary Fellow of Indian Geotechnical Society. I have the honor to facilitate you, sir. Now I request Professor Madhvi Lata to felicitate Sri Rangaraju. Sri L.V. Sri Rangaraju obtained his BE from Mysore University and MTech from IIT Bombay. He worked in various capacities in the Karnataka Power Corporation Limited and retired as the Executive Director. Interestingly, obtained his law from LLB from Bangalore University and Masters of Law from Annamalai University. Post-retirement, he is enrolled as an advocate in the Karnataka Bar Council and presently is an arbitrator for dispute resolution of many engineering projects. Indian Concrete Institute Bangalore Center and Ultratech Cement Limited jointly conferred him the Lifetime Achievement Award in 2023. I call upon Professor H.N. Ramesh to felicitate Professor K.N.V. Rao. Dr. K.N.V. Rao was born on 3rd September 1940 in Hosur, Chikbalapur district. He obtained his BE Civil from UBDT Davangere in 1962, ME Soil Mechanics from IISc Bangalore, and also PhD from IISc Bangalore in 1981. He served as the principal of the Davangere College and retired in the year 2000. Dr. K.N.V. Rao is the recipient of Karnataka State Award for the Best Postgraduate in Engineering during 1972, and also the recipient of Best Research Paper in Civil Engineering by Bangalore University in 1972. He is the recipient of Professor Leonard's Award for the Best PhD Thesis by Indian Geotechnical Society in 1983, and recipient of Eminent Engineer of the Year by the Institution of Engineers, Bangalore Center, and is also an active member of Indian Geotechnical Society, Bengaluru Chapter, and is mentor to all of us. He was also a student of B.K. Ramaya, so who actually started the IGS Bengaluru Chapter way back 60 years ago.
May now request Dr. P.S.R. Narasimharaju to felicitate Sri Ishwaraya. Sri Ishwaraya did his BE from BDT College of Engineering, Davangere, and MTech from Indian Institute of Science. After serving Karnataka PWD for 5 years and working as a lecturer in SIT Tumkur for 2 years, he joined Karnataka Power Corporation as an assistant executive engineer in 1971 and retired as a technical director in 1997. During his service, he was closely associated with the planning, design, and construction of several hydroelectric power projects, including Kalinidhi, Varahi, Ghataprabha, Gerusuppa project. After retirement, he was a consultant to NTPC, Indian Renewable Energy Development Corporation, and KPCL. He served as chair of IGS Bengaluru Chapter. Now, Engineer T.N. Ramurthy did his BE and ME from UVC Bangalore University, and his thesis was guided by Professor B.K. Ramaya, and the work was published in 19th International Conference of Soil Mechanics and Foundation held at Japan. He was a faculty at RV College of Engineering, and then later he became director on a project on alternate energy under TIFAC, Department of Science and Technology, initiated by President Abdul Kalam. Professor TNR published number of papers and organized many conferences. He was secretary of IGS Bengaluru Chapter for a very long time and also was a vice chairman. He has provided consultancy for many geotechnical projects. I had the privilege of felicitating him. So now we can have a group photo. I request all the IGS Bangalore chapter members to come to the dais. bags. All bags.
We can give the mic to them for 1 minute and we can conclude on that. Quickly, one
ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ
minute.
mic ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ?
Hello.
Can you give the mic, please? Linda, start ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. ಹಂಗೆ pass ಮಾಡಿ.
Now I request the senior members if they wish to address the gathering.
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಏನಾದರೂ can share to all the youngsters, please. One
No,
minute.
I want to, at the outset, I want to thank the organizing committee, Professor Madhavilata, Professor Raghuvi Rao, and Dr. Parthasarthi and others for arranging this memorable Diamond Jubilee function. And I hope you will keep it, and I wish them all the best for the future, and we'll all surely come for the Platinum Jubilee.
We too wish same thing.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸಿದ್ದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾನು IISc ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ನ ಹೃದಯಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ವಂದಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಒಂದು ಗಾದೆ ಇದೆ, ಹೂವಿನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾರು ಸ್ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ಬರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ಬರ್ಟ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಮೇಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಾಲ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಟೈರ್ ಆದವನು. ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ರಿಟೈರ್ ಆದ 2000 ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಭೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ರಮೇಶು ಮತ್ತು ಸೀತಾರಾಮ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಗಳಾದ್ರಿಂದ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಭೆಗೂ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಅಷ್ಟಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್. ಬಟ್ ಒಂದೇನಂದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಸಂತೋಷ, I was also B.K. Ramaya student, who is can be called as father of soil mechanics of Karnataka, because he started soil mechanics subject as an elective. In fact, I was the first batch of elective soil mechanics in the BE. Now BE idaga first batch soil mechanics navappa odiddu. So hagagi I am really happy that I am here along with distinguished professors, engineers here, and also thank all of you for having made this function a grand success. Thank you all.
Babu is afraid that I will speak longer. Only one, in sooth, I know not why I am felicitated today. Probably they don't want us to meddle with the affairs of KGC or IGC Bengaluru Chapter too much from now onwards.
In 1971, I completed my post-graduation in the institute under the guidance of Professor Subbarao. In fact, this soil mechanics and foundation engineering study has helped me a lot in solving the lot of foundation problems in SUPA. As you know, it's one of the complex foundations in the whole of the Karnataka. And also, I am also associated with a lot of power projects in Himachal and Uttaranchal projects also, hydro projects particularly. The knowledge that I gained in this institute, it definitely is helpful for me to solve many of the geotechnical problems in the hydropower projects and also thermal projects. Thank you.
I'm thankful to this institute because it allowed me to come under quality improvement program for 3 years. Then it was essential because I used to get 500 rupees extra scholarship, regular salary plus 500 rupees per month. So that is the period where my family needed money, because that is a different issue. But anyway, it helped me. Then I went back to UVC. Then I got the offer of immediately here. So I came here as an assistant professor, served as an associate professor, colleague of our Professor Subbarao and Professor Sridharan. They are all great teachers of mine, including Professor T.S. Nagaraj, who expired, including B.V. Ranganathan, and of course B.K. Ramaya there. So all great people have been associated with them. Thanks a lot.
So we are extremely thankful to express our sincere thanks to the executive committee of the 23-25 at the IGSK Bangalore chapter. Just now we talked with the authorities through Anil Joseph and Singh. We are the only center who had completed Diamond Jubilee celebrations. Other centers are not come very close to that. So that means Karnataka has led the geotechnical field to a great extent in Indian scenario. With this, I express sincere thanks to all of you. Thank you very much.
Many thanks to the organizers. They have done a wonderful job. I wish I could have attended all the lectures and presentations. Hopefully, next time I will do it.
I must indeed thank Professor Madhavi Lata. When she phoned me up, I had two minds, whether I could come or I could not come. I was a little doubtful. Had I missed it, I would have missed such a wonderful family setting. I really enjoyed very much. Geotechnical family, going strong by strong every year. You can see in the national scene also, we have now more than 50 centers, geotechnical centers under the IGS. So I'm very happy to have been here today. Thank you all.
Bangalore has always been a trendsetter, and it has played a major role in the development of Indian Geotechnical Society, and also Bangalore chapter was one of the earliest. I remember attending a conference in this hall in 1962, just after the Asian conference in 1960. That means the second conference ever held in India in soil mechanics was held in this place, and Karnataka Bangalore chapter was established, I suppose, 2 years later. The great stalwarts have played a role. B.K. Ramaya, Professor Sridharan, Professor Subbarao, and Indian Institute of Science has played a major role in the development of the geotechnical engineering in the national and international scene. And we are simply proud of it. I wish Bangalore chapter goes further into centennial celebrations and further. Thank you.
Hello, namaskara. I first of all thank the organization for making me one of the members of this place. And then it is also very true that we had a lot of discussions in the earlier months, earlier years, I would say. That's where it was said that about the lectures conducted by the association. This sort of association promoting and encouraging even all the elders in this portion in these days is something which is to be recognized. And so regardless of the works that have been done, the work that is being done by the association is also very proactive, and so that everyone will have the same feeling of being, even at old age, being in the amidst of the past, and then also this will also give us a great, I would say, great food for mind. I think I was, you see, the retirement, this I told you also, I would just try to repeat it. Retirement is only a liberation. Liberation from what? Liberation from the bonds of whatever the association or the department is there. Now, what you could not have done from that in that association or department, the retirement will give you greater success and greater work. I wish all the people the best of luck. Thank you.
I'm sure you all agree that this is a frame to behold for times to come. Thanks for joining, sir. It's a wonderful occasion. And thanks to everyone who has attended this event and joined the celebrations of our chapter's Diamond Jubilee celebrations. Thank you. Good evening to all of you, and join for high tea, which is waiting outside. See you all again next year with a big conference coming up. Thank you.